I like driving manual transmission. I feel like they are fun, they are enjoyable, and you feel like you are more in control of the car when driving. So that's why I kind of like, if I'm driving, if I'm not teaching how to drive, I'll be driving a manual transmission. Now, having said that, learning to drive a manual car has a bit of a learning curve. It's a little bit more challenging as compared to someone who is learning how to drive an automatic transmission. Most people these days who are learning how to drive, they are learning to drive automatic transmission, not manual transmission. Because of this, a lot of instructors, they've stopped offering manual driving lessons and just do automatic lessons instead. Now, if someone is learning how to drive an automatic transmission, they're obviously going to buy an automatic car when they pass their driving test, or even while still learning to drive an automatic car, they're gonna buy an automatic car. And because of this, a lot of car manufacturers, they've stopped selling manual vehicles. So as an instructor who kind of like teach both automatic and manual, I was kind of like left with a choice. The thing is, I can easily fill my calendar with automatic lessons because the demand is there. So it's not like we don't have demand for automatic lessons. There's actually demand for automatic lessons. But at the same time, do we just stop teaching manual together and neglect those people who are trying to learn how to drive manual transmission? Or do we continue and like offer maybe one day manual or maybe 2 days manual, and then the rest of the days we offer automatic transmission? This is kind of like the thing that has been going on for the last year, where we've been kind of like considering what to do. So after weighing all our options, we came to a conclusion that we are going to continue offering manual driving lessons. So manual lessons are going to continue. Now, because a lot of manufacturers were like stopping selling the cars, and now most of the manual cars that are kind of like being sold, they are like premium cars, we decided to sell the current car, which is this one. So this is a Toyota Corolla. This is a 2017 Toyota Corolla. It's got a 1.8 liter engine, and it's got a 6-speed manual transmission. So basically it's got 6 gears. So we've decided to sell this car and get a new car. Now the question is, what happens then to these cars? Like, what happens? So as we speak right now, basically this car has been decommissioned. The dew controls that were fitted were removed. So we took it to the mechanic removed the dew controls, and we also had to change the registration, because these cars, when we are using them for teaching, they are registered as driver training vehicles. So we changed it from driver training to private. So now this car is just like any other car basically that you see on the road. By the time you watch this video, probably this car would have been sold already. So this car has actually been amazing. I've really never had any problem with this car. I've been driving it for the last 3 years now, and it's really never given any problem. The engine is amazing. The gear stick is okay. It's not the best. Obviously, it's a Toyota. Toyota, what they do is, when they are making their cars, they just make it so that the cars are reliable. Nothing like fancy or anything. It's just a daily driver. It's just a car you drive, and you know that it's going to take you from point A to point B without giving you any problem. So never really had any issue with the car. The only thing we've ever really had to change was oil filter, and the tires. That's pretty much all that we've ever needed to do. Just doing regular maintenance, logbook service. That's all we needed to do. So for those of you who are kind of like shopping for cars, I think like a Corolla should really be on top of the list. This, if I was out there shopping for my first car, I can easily buy this. It will never give you any problem. You're just gonna service it, and you're just gonna change your tires. Maybe you might need to change the brake pads, and that's pretty much all you need to do. The Toyota, really, they go for quite a long time, and they are good as first cars. So I'm gonna jump in the new vehicle now. I'm gonna jump in the i30, and I'm gonna kind of like talk to you guys about the car and the process of what we had to do to kind of like get it ready for teaching how to drive. So this is the new car. This is the i30. Now this is not your regular i30. This is a 930N. And for those of you guys who are into cars, this car has a 2-liter engine, front wheel drive, and it's got a 6-speed manual gearbox. So basically it's got 6 gears. Now some people think that learner drivers can't drive cars like this because it's a turbocharged, it's got a little bit extra power, so learner drivers can't drive this car. But that's not true. So if you are learning how to drive and you are with a supervisor or a driving instructor who is qualified to supervise a learner driver, you can actually drive this car. However, when you pass your driving tests and you go on your P plates, you are not allowed to drive a car like this because it's got a little bit too much power. You can only drive this car if you are on your learners, and once you go on your P plates, you can't legally drive a car like this on the road. You're gonna have to wait until you get your open license, and then after you get your open license, then you'll be able to drive a car like this. So when this car came, it came basically like any other cars. It didn't have dual control pedals. So the first thing that we actually did was to take the car to the mechanic. So we took it to the mechanic who is responsible for fitting the dual control pedals, and they put the dual controls. So now there are pedals on the passenger side as well. So when I'm sitting there and I'm teaching someone how to drive, I can actually control the car. So they put the clutch, they put a brake, and they put the accelerator on the passenger side. The other stuff that we had to do on the car, we had to ceramic coat the car. I actually did that. I ceramic coated the car. So that was a full-on job. Took a day to do that. That was my first experience to do a proper ceramic coating. I've done hybrid ceramic coating in the past, but this was my first time to actually do the proper ceramic coating of the car. The other thing that was done in the car was to tint the window, because especially here where we live, there's a lot of sun. When you tint the windows, the interior of the car is actually stays a little bit cooler, and it can protect some of the materials of the car from the UVs. Apart from that, so there is now another mirror there that was fitted, and I also put some kind of like quick connect. So when I'm teaching how to drive, sometime after finishing the lesson, I remove the L plates. I had to attach like a quick connect so that when I'm putting the L plate, just basically come clip the L plates on, and then I don't have to worry about like removing the whole thing all the time. So that was done as well. So now the car is fully ready for teaching how to drive. I actually did my first driving lesson 2 days ago in this car, and that went okay. And then the following day I did some more lessons in this car as well. It's going very well. It's gonna take me a little bit of time to get used to it as well in terms of teaching in this car, but otherwise I'm very happy with the car. The steering is nice. It's got a very nice gearbox. I like the gear stick here, and the screen in this car, it's a bit bigger than the Corolla. The materials are not so nice, but I did a bit of cleaning inside. I also put some protectant on this material to just protect the material basically from the UV. When you cleaning a car, you need to be careful and use the products that are meant to be used for cars. Let's say you just buy any products and start using on the car. Some of these materials are not that forgiving. Go to a proper auto shop, buy proper products to be used for cars, not just anything. In the near future, I want to do some manual transmission videos where I teach stuff like how to move off without stalling, clutch control, hill starts, and all those type of things. If you are learning how to drive manual and you want to check out those videos in the future, you just make sure you subscribe so that when those videos comes out, you don't miss out. That's it for the video, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. This wasn't kind of like your kind of typical teaching videos. This was just me explaining to you what's going to change, so that when you see this car in the videos in the future, you won't get surprised. That's it for this video, and I hope to see you in the future driving related video. If you are taking your driving test soon, I wish you the best of luck.